Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends and fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. I'm your host, Jason. With me is Tim
Musical artist?
and Bill.
What is music?
And our special newest Patreon member, Cam.
Hi. I
This
think that
is
was, yeah.
this is Cam's pick. Each week we rotate out, but Patreon members get to choose an artist to bring to us.
Mm-hmm.
For better or worse, sometimes. Um so yeah, he
I
brought
want,
us
I wanted to bring some life to this
yeah.
group, so
Get us a
let's
little bit more modern. We're always talking about these old bands.
what
That's right.
Let's talk about this new band, Sleep Token. Real quick, brief slash history relationship with the band. Myself, I'd never heard of this band until Cam pinged me and said, "Hey, have you check out the new Sleep Token?" and sent me a song. I don't even remember what song it was. It was off Even in Arcadia. And I listened to it, and my response was, "Well, this is just like pop metal. I don't know what is this." And that's been my relationship. So this was a brand new discography for me.
you're welcome.
Tim,
Yeah, I've heard of them. I've probably first heard of them, I don't know, sometime in the last 5 years. There's a pretty big buzz about them. But I can't remember actually checking any of it out. So this was a new discography for me as well, one that I went into with optimism and excitement.
yeah, you did because whenever I said it was on the docket, you were like, you wanted to check them out.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things.
Bill,
Yeah, didn't know about this band at all. Not even a sniff.
number one album on the Billboard in May.
Yeah, yeah.
What does that say?
Um, we'll get there. Cam, what about you? What's your relationship? Why'd you bring this band to us?
So I originally heard someone covering one of the songs about a year or so ago, and it turns out they were big, so I just decided to dive into them and follow them, and I've liked everything I've heard so far. I liked most of the things I've heard.
All right. Well, let's just jump into 2019's Sundowning. Tim, you want to start us off?
Oh, not really. So I did. I went into this with optimism, um, and right off the bat, um, like I don't like the production that their approaches that they're picking. I don't like the dude's voice. I don't like the song structures. We'll get into that later, where it just keeps repeating. Um, there's some interesting things going on with this band. I like when you can hear real drums. Uh, Dude's obviously very talented and does some very interesting rhythms throughout the album, but it's so few and far between, even in individual songs, where the song starts off with maybe a piano, but definitely a vocal. And again, there's way too much reverb on the vocals throughout this entire album. It's hard to tell one song apart, even even as I'm going through the list, like, okay, this is track 4, this is track 8, etc. Um, I was shocked at how unimaginative stuff was. I listen to a lot of wild, crazy stuff out there that almost even considered avant-garde stuff, and you can hear where maybe they've got some of that in their background, but this was a pop album. This was a 2020s pop album. Um, a lot of auto tune, a lot of the sketchy like hi hat stuff going on. Um, Yeah, I mean like a song like Sugar. By the time I got there, like there were things that I was hearing throughout where like there'd be something interesting in every track, but every track also had something that was just completely off-putting for me. Usually the vocals. I don't like the dude's choice of melodies, and even when when the background vocals came in and they tried to get harmonic, there too much reverb on everything. So instead of, you know, making it sound like the Beach Boys or something, or even a Queen where there are like great harmonies going on. This is just a wash in auto tune, and it took so much away from it, I thought, that it was difficult to listen to. So, doing my due diligence, listen to it twice. And like again, there's some cool keyboard stuff going on here and there. The bass was non-existent. The drums were cool when they're live drums, but when they're programmed drums, they would lose me almost instantaneously. And there were even times where I could tell they were live drums, but they were mixed to sound like programmed drums. Wasn't a fan of like the snare drums during those parts. Um, the guitar, like I like some of the quieter effects that he uses, but when he kicks in the distortion, I guess that's where people like call this metal. But like there's no metal here. This is pop. Um because even when they fully kick in as a band and it's got some distortion and you can even hear a bass drum and maybe even a real hi-hat, like it's so flat. There's no dynamics on this album. Um I don't know. I was shocked based on what I had heard going into this, uh, just how uninteresting I found this album.
Uh,
I, I'll follow that up. Before I get into the album proper, I just like to point out the authenticity of our show because this band has surged in popularity,
Hmm.
and it would be
Hmm.
really great for our channel to catch that algorithm, talk about how great this band is,
And I
and
went
this
into this band wanting to like them.
and this was a Patreon pick. It would be awesome if we just fawned all over a Patreon member's pick. Hashtag integrity. Here we go. The night does not belong to God. The opening lines of this discography are, when you live by daylight with angels at your side, in order now bestowed by the light of the sunrise. I'll give it a 3. It's not bad lyrics, but it's not great lyrics either. The first thought when the vocals came on was, what in the Scott Stapp Coldplay is this? Let me ask the panel this. What genre of music is this? I guess
I
Tim's
had that
already
same
answered.
question. I had that same question.
The
So
what?
so I actually did look it up because I was curious too. So it's Wikipedia categorized. Make sure I actually do this so I can do it right. Quote:
Mhm.
prog, metal, rock, alternative, indie.
I can see the prog,
I can agree with that.
in parts. I can
I
see
got.
the indie in parts. I can definitely see the pop.
I mean, and I'll be honest. The reason I looked it up because I'm like, oh shit, is this like a Christian prog band? Is what I initially was thinking. I mean, just look at the
Christian
track
metalcore.
list, look at the album titles. It's like, oh shit, this is where we're going.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Offering, it had decent lyrics, but the vocals are not for me. I burst out laughing at the falsetto to whispering thing that he was doing.
Bad.
Levitate, we're on track 3. Does this album ever do anything? Dark Signs might be my favorite lyrics on the album. It would have worked better with like a pop punk emo riff carrying it, and not whatever this electronic bullshit was. Higher. I'd never thought I'd say this, but Creed's Higher is the superior Higher. It does get a little quick heavy towards the end, but that quickly ends when Take Aim Sundowning starts. Get the fuck out of here with those falsetto vocals and post 2000 U2 trash. Give? Yeah, U2 and Pink Floyd without any guitar riffs. That's what this is. God's Sundowning? Holy shit, they are finally doing something. It's just the Deftones. But it's at least something. Best song on the album, even if that middle section's really fucking boring. Sugar? This song gets 2 points. Sugar, I've developed a taste for you. Made me laugh out loud at how stupid it was. And point number 2, it just made me want ice cream because it sounds like the local ice cream truck. Y'all remember those Flintstones push pops?
Yes. Yes.
I used to get those Flintstone push pops. If I was looking to splurge a little, I'd get that King Kong, you know? Say that you will, nothing happens. Drag me under, fighting to stay awake. Bloodsport, the auto-tune is strong with this one. Another snooze fest. How does the word metal come up in any conversation about this band? My busted ass, busted ass old dryer plays more metal than this. Staying positive though, maybe they get better, and this is just the first album. You guys ever heard?
We got to point out too that there are some bonus tracks, so they follow up Bloodsport with Bloodsport. And I was making sure that I wasn't hearing things, so I went back and specifically listened to these 2 different versions, and there were no differences. It's the same recording.
I didn't listen to any extra stuff.
The playlist I had on YouTube only went to the end of the albums on all these, actually.
Lucky you. Yeah, I got the bonus tracks on this one, and they're not remixed. They're not they're not different versions.
So I Want to Dance with Somebody. That's gotta be like an upbeat song, right?
No, it is a cover.
Well, yeah, but I know it's the cover, but it was at least a faster paced song then for them, right?
No.
Oh.
Did you listen to their cover of Hey Ya?
No, I refused. I refused.
Well, I listened to that one, and I refused to listen to this one because the cover of Hey Ya was so not upbeat. Okay, so you know how every other song here, might even be every song, starts with one note on a piano, and dude singing. There's no real melody. There's no real pauses. That was one thing I was thinking about this whole time too. You go see this band live, right? Are you singing along?
Yeah.
Because there's no hooks. Okay, yeah. If you're singing along to this, great.
I'll say this for this album. You guys ever heard REM's 1992 Automatic for the People?
Of course.
This album is heavier, both musically and emotionally, than Sundowning.
Mm-hmm.
Night Swimming is heavier than anything on this record.
Drive. The acoustic song. Yeah. Dude does not. I don't like the vocal approach here at all.
His voice, it sounds so familiar, and it was pissing me off by the end of the discography because it was this guy sounds so familiar. It's got to be one of those masked singers.
Yeah.
Well, they are masked singers.
What is the guy from Collective Soul doing?
Sleep Token.
Because it sounded whoa.
Well, and I'll get into it. There's a couple songs coming up on some later albums where I was really picturing the Nickelback dude if he was on Broadway.
I mean, if he took an Ambien or something, maybe if he like
Well,
took some
yeah, there's that
Ambien,
too. Yeah, sure.
it could be old Chad. I don't know.
Because
Bill,
there's
what
an
about?
aspect to the accent that it's like he's trying to be a yarler, but he's also trying to be like overly dramatic. It just doesn't work.
There's no hashtag first album bias here.
So I'll quickly run through my thought process when listening through this album. So I got about three lyrics into the first one and went, okay. So it's not Christian prog.
It's not.
And that it's not, but it should be.
It's
It would be better, maybe? I don't know. I've never listened to much Christian prog, so couldn't tell you definitively. But then I went to the Wikipedia, so I had to. And I
mhm.
realized, oh, so they're just doing the whole masked performer type thing. There isn't an actual
They're doing the whole
name of the
ghost
lead
thing.
singer.
Yeah, the
Yep.
vessel.
Calling
And
the show's rituals.
yep.
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, so they're not a religious per se, but it's just, worshiping the sleep god, which this album made me want to do. Um,
Sure.
go to sleep, that is. That being said, like there was times where it's like, yeah, I might be getting into a song. Um, like Say That You Will. I'll use that one as an example. It's like, okay, like I could start getting into this one, but then it just never goes.
Nothing
Like it just kind of,
happens.
it just, we're sitting there. It's just, nah, here we go. We're done. See you later. Have a good night. Go to sleep now. Um, because when I was listening to this, I'll let her rip now. So I was thinking if Hosier was doing vocals for a Christian prog band, but he forgot that he was a good singer.
Why are y'all attacking this band?
Because we
That
listen to it.
Because we listened to it.
I listened to it.
Well, tell us, where are we wrong, Cam? How are we wrong on this
Yeah.
one?
Say, what did we screw
Say
up?
wrong, but I don't feel like y'all are giving it the benefit of the doubt. Or it's the first album, right? People
Sure.
take
Sure,
it,
Sure.
sure.
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
We all agree. All right, let's bring it back in now.
Yep.
So, what were the positives? Right, I would say, I guess we're not ranking them now, but
Right.
it's the first album, so
Mhm.
take that for what you will as far as the direction the band goes and how it evolves.
Yeah, I
My
was hoping
positives
for
for
that.
this one were hi-hat work, and occasionally there'd be like an offbeat snare hit that shouldn't work but did. So rhythmically, there's some interesting things here, but there wasn't a single song that I liked. There wasn't anything that grabbed me melodically. Production wise, it sounds very Pro Tools. A lot of auto tune on here. There's too much reverb, and yeah, there's no dynamics in when like they kick in.
My positives were lyrically, I thought it was okay on the first listen as the first album I heard.
Okay.
Bill has nothing positive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here's the with every band that's come to the show, especially what I don't know, they're like, you know what? If it came to the panel, there's gonna be good shit here. I'm here for it. Like, some bands did I not like them as much as others? Absolutely. But
Do, do,
I usually go and open,
do,
wanting to listen, especially like a more modern band. It's like, okay, like I would say in theory, I should be one of the target demographics for this band as someone in their mid 20s. Like any modern new band you would want to hit on the younger demographic.
Yeah.
And I can't I can't
Was
feel
it
it off of
18
it.
to 34 or whatever is the target
Yeah.
demographic?
Well, we'll get into the target demographic a little later. It's
Oh,
definitely not me.
Well, and I can even see where in the presentation of this band, they are trying to appeal to someone, you know, in my demographic where, you know, avant-garde, techno metal type, you know, stamps that they're putting on this. But like, I've heard Meshuggah. This is not Meshuggah. Like, not even close.
Anybody got anything else to add about Sundowning? I mean, first album, I went into it. At the end of it, I was optimistic that they would, this
So
is the first
I
album,
do.
It's rough.
It is a first album, but I do have some questions because, like, yeah, what 2018 or whatever, like that is still super current. So I'm wondering, like, outside of the internet, did this get any action? Did this get any play anywhere?
That's a good question.
Because
I
I
don't
don't,
know.
because I don't even know what like type of radio station would play this other than your local top 40, and I don't see them playing this.
I mean,
Now,
it's
it's not really a radio type of band, right? They're kind of long
Sure.
songs. The way music has kind of shifted, in my opinion, is that you, at this point, it's a lot of word of mouth. It's a lot of suggestions, a lot of YouTube algorithm that will suggest this type of stuff, right?
Sure.
For the most part,
Mm-hmm.
radio is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So for a band this young, right, I would give all credit to any algorithm that's out there for this, as far as how they became popular. And they started
So
off
they just paid to get on the algorithm.
right, possibly, and they started off in the UK, right? This is a British band,
Sure.
and I don't know how they do it over there. Right?
British
But,
heavy metal, right?
I
This is not.
they're, let's move on. Let's move on, boys. Let's continue.
Yeah. No, I'm super curious though
Huh.
because it's like this has an audience, obviously.
Yeah.
There's people listening to it.
Well, my
There's people
kids,
listening to it.
I was listening to, I think it was the third album, and my kids, a song came on, and both of them were like, "It's that song!" Because evidently, it was in a TikTok video that went viral.
Okay.
You ever heard of Book Talk? It's kind of like a TikTok for readers, I think. They mentioned the name Colleen Hoover, kind of like in
So
that
instead of the Chinese government,
Twilight.
it's ran by the Finnish government? Or?
Well, it's like the whole, smutty novel romance type thing crowd.
Okay, sure.
That's
Yeah, okay.
the demographic they have pulled in.
So
Interesting.
definitely
Okay.
not Tim
That
Meyer,
and
you.
then to quote my daughter, a bunch of thirst trap guys who want to be hard and listen to metal. That's the other fan base.
No.
But they're not listening to metal.
They're
No.
listening to this. This is like the
Right.
we're cool, we're hard, we're
When
a
you
little
say hard,
spooky,
you mean-
little edgy. We're listening to Sleep Token, guys.
Do you
That's
mean
according
hard
to my
in a
kid.
musical? Hard in a musical sense, then, right?
I mean, metal.
Okay.
No, I'm not familiar with male thirst traps.
That's
Right. I believe it. Yep.
all right. Well, we're not ranking this one yet. This first album, it automatically goes into number 1. Will it stay there? Well, will it stay there?
Around and find out.
Stick
Yeah.
around and find out. We are a playlist link channel. You can watch all these videos in a row. As we go through this discography, you can join us on this vessel. And give us a like, give us a subscribe. Really helps the channel out. As
On
always,
this night of ritual.
Be safe and make good decisions. We did Sleep Token. It was a Patreon member pick. And we made it through the first record. And we'll release that. And this will be at the end of that video. Because our audio cut out after the first album. So we didn't catch the audio for the last 4 records. But
we did top songs. We did it. Is it art?
We did our top. No, we didn't do art. We didn't do.
Oh, that's
art.
right. We did. That's right.
So we looked at art and said, "No, I mean they're all gold, right?"
Yeah, we lost Black Sabbath as an art part 2, but
that was the real travesty.
That was the biggest loss of the night.
Actually, no. Top songs was the biggest loss of the night.
Oh, well, we're still going to show those top songs in this video right here. We're going to do a recap.
We should just get AI to write a script up for it.
Yeah, we should. So our Patreon member Cam, he after we recorded the second video, he says, "All right, well, I'm going to get some food and go to bed." We'd only been recording for an hour, so he bailed on us halfway through Sleep Token. This was his pick, mind you. So we carried on without him, and we did our rankings. And that was the worst band I think I've ever heard in my life. They're all Nickelback Brown.
Yeah, but what was his comment on the second album? Yeah, this is just bad music. That was the Patreons.
No, he said, it's not my favorite. He gave no kind of like
reasoning.
No reasoning, no, details of the songs or you know, if you're gonna be if you want to come on the show and you want to sign up for the Patreon and give us a band to cover, be passionate.
And we want you to sign up for the Patreon, and we want you to give us bands that we don't like to cover.
Right, be passionate.
Be passionate.
Like if you like NSYNC and you can come on our show and you make us listen to every NSYNC record, and we may hate it, but if you're passionate about it, I'll respect it. Like,
but if you've only heard 2 songs,
but if you only like 2 songs, the 2 hit singles, and what's the point? Like, that's not liking a band, Anyway,
liking an album and one album being good does not mean the band is good. That was the other conversation we had.
Right. There's plenty of bands that I like one album from.
Sure.
Hell, there's bands I like maybe 1 or 2 songs. Mm-hmm. But
we're not covering them on the channel.
We're not going to do Lit.
Thank God. I mean, we might as well slip into Buck Cherry territory at that point.
Nah, man, Lit's got a Ziploc Bag. That's a good song.
Okay. Haven't heard it, so I don't know.
But yeah.
There's a million terrible bands out there, and we're all entitled to like whatever terrible bands we want. But you got to know that, like, even your favorite band, somebody out there thinks is terrible. So you got to be able to defend it.
And I just don't get, like, Sleep Token is not for me. I don't understand it.
It had some moments, but overall, no, it wasn't for me either.
It didn't have any moments for me. This was the most boring. Trey says there's one album by Avenged Sevenfold that led me to you guys that I love, but I'm not a fan of the band overall. It wouldn't be worth it. Yeah,
I've seen them live. Not a fan. Yeah.
The few songs I've heard. But
I mean, I can get behind some Avenged Sevenfold.
Like I'm telling Cam, you say you like Thrice? Pick Thrice. I can defend Thrice up to a point. I can defend Thrice. I can deep dive Thrice. I can tell you all the references. They got one song, there's a video game. You remember TNC Surf Designs? They play the riff off that. It's really fucking cool. Yeah. But like I can defend Thrice. But Sleep Token, there was nothing here for me. So we did our top songs. And this was our top songs list. There's some good picks here.
Yeah.
We started out. I started mine out as the shortest length. Cam got Nobody's Daughter by a Hole all the way down, because that's what you do when you bail on our show and you have to go to sleep because you listen to Sleep Token. But then we just started throwing some random things on here that's better than Sleep Token, and by the end of it, well, there wasn't one Sleep Token song left on here.
Well, it all started with "Have a Cigar" by Pink Floyd, if I remember right.
Yeah, one of you guys started it with "Have a Cigar," and I was like, well, we got to have Primus's "Have a Cigar." Tim's like,
And
we
then
got to
I
have
was like,
Foo
well, then we
Fighters.
got to have the Foo Fighters.
And I didn't know another "Have a Cigar" song, so I'm like, we need "Yellow Submarine" by the Beatles.
Bill's got the Crunchyroll ad. I forgot about that.
Let us know down below who else has covered Have a Cigar, though. We will add them to this playlist.
Yeah. And if you're a Sleep Token fan and you by chance you're watching this and you can,
let us know which songs we should go back to.
show us the way.
Yeah.
What are we missing? Damn right, O'Reilly's theme song's on here. It's a good one. The entire Tommy album. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay muted because I've got background noise going, but
I did have a moment of post-show, like, oh, there's a mistake. The Smoke on the Water, the album isn't live in Japan. It's made in Japan.
oh, well, we can fix that now. There we go. Look at that.
Yeah, they took a 3-minute song and turned it into like 25 minutes. Love it.
We've got some good sad boy music on here. We got some Typo Negative. We got some Alkaline Trio.
Got some Beatles.
Yeah,
Got some Ramones.
Yeah.
because Cam said he didn't like the Beatles. They
Some
suck.
gin blossoms.
He said the dead Kennedys have no passion. So probably the end of this video, of the Sleep Token video, I'll just play some footage of the dead Kennedys live. Because why not? I'm not downloading a Sleep Token song to play at the end.
It'll corrupt your computer.
No Pink Cell Phone. I would rather listen to Pink Cell Phone
Pink Cell Phone is better than anything that I
than
listen to.
anything on Sleep Token. I'd rather listen to Nickelback's Photograph.
And then I'd rather listen to Def Leppard's Photograph.
I'd rather listen to Def Leppard's Photograph.
Who else has a song called Photograph?
I don't know. But
No, it's Photograph. That's got to be like a popular ass, like 20 bands have to have like that as their
They
top
got
10
to,
song,
right?
probably. Yeah. Those one word nouns, they get you, especially in like the 2000s.
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again. Y'all come back now, you hear?